just got home from the gym?
Yep, just got home from the gym. Just fucking getting old. Every day is getting harder.
Cool, man. So anyways, I guess if you want to get started, one of the first things,
Yeah,
obviously, I want to ask you. I'm sure you've answered a bunch, but we
it's all
want to talk about the Nick Diaz hospital brawl. Is that cool
okay.
with you?
Of course, yeah. I'm an open book, buddy. You can ask me anything you want.
Cool, cool. So I guess so you won that fight, right? By decision?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And it went your way. Then I guess afterwards, Nick, from what I guess everything I've seen, Nick wasn't happy about the decision.
yeah. Well, he's a perpetual sore loser in everything he does. He's just fucking yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen him lose fights. He's just a fucking crybaby about it. That's just the way he is. Like this tripod's fucking giving me shit. Hold on. I'm terrible with any technology. My kid's getting
Oh,
a
you're good, man.
piece of shit. About to throw this thing through the fucking wall. You guys have no idea the amount of fucking shit I've broke, man.
That's
Yeah, you can't tell your kids not to beat shit up when you do. It's not good.
That's true.
Yeah. With Nick, man, I remember watching. I paid more attention to it after the fight, but every time he would lose, if you even talk to his dumbass now, he thinks he's never lost a fight. I swear to God, he thinks he's never lost a fight.
Do you think he believes that, or is that just him just
I
trying
don't
to
know,
put on
man.
a show?
He's one of the stupidest human beings I ever fucking met. If I've ever been in my life. Like anything he said, he's one of those people that will try to use a big word. He just listens to it and regurgitates it into a different fucking conversation. So
Yeah.
he's self-admittedly didn't graduate high school just because of his, he grew up in a hard life, just like I did, but I didn't turn out to be a fucking moron like he did. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Throughout my career, the only people that I don't generally like. Usually, when you don't like a fighter, when you fight him, after you fight, it's usually gone. The beef's gone. Fucking Nick, I hate Nick, and that guy Lorenzo Hunt, don't like him.
Really?
Yeah,
I was about to ask you that because I saw where you fought him, and he obviously is fought in bare knuckle.
yeah.
Would you want to run that back with him?
Fuck, that pad do anything. Yeah, I mean, because when I fought him, it was like last year. I thought because I mean, if you've done any research on my life, I was supposed to be a UFC champion when I was like 21, but mentally I would have I would have mental lapses that just I just wouldn't perform up to my capabilities. So, but I thought that was behind me. I think I was like leading up to that fight. I had my last 27 fights. I'd won 26, and the only loss was by injury. So I thought I was fucking doing good. But that dude, he's older than I am, but he's got like a fucking master's degree in fucking being a troll, man. I got to give it to him. He got it. I was so angry when I fought him, and you never should fight angry. When I walk out of the fight, I wanted to cry more than fight. I mean, fucking, I was very angry. I mean, he said the hypocrisy in BKFC is not that cool. Like Dave Feldman, I'm still with BKFC, so I got to be careful. But Dave Feldman, I've known Dave because he's from Phoenix. He had a promotion in Phoenix. I've known him for years. He's a good guy, but just like he would say racist shit, Lorenzo. And but because if you would reverse that and I said it, I would be ostracized and fucking rightfully so. I mean, I would be fucking burned at the stakes. But that shit got to me. And then he would say, because like when you fight, you build up a fight, you should leave family out of it, you should leave race out of it, you leave religion out of it. That motherfucker left no stone unturned, man. He was at them all. And then he fucking jammed a tomato in my face at the fights.
I saw that actually.
Yeah, it's and then like I swear to God, I think I fought in BKs. I fought in the UK in bare knuckle like 3 times, but since I've been with BKFC, the organization, I've been accosted at weigh-ins every fucking time. I swear to God, do you guys know who Brock Weaver is?
I've heard the name.
Like he's fought in the UFC. He's actually a good guy, but I mean, either I was pushed, fucking slapped me, and I'm not that guy to steal on. I fight even to this day outside of the fucking ring. I mean, and not because I'm a mean guy, just people get that misconception of a professional fighter. won't actually fight, because they'll get in trouble. Fuck that. I mean, I'm not a bully by any means, but don't fucking treat me like shit, So Lorenzo pushed that shit in my face. And the fight after that, what's his name? Like Josh Dyer or something like that. He tried to do the same thing, like fucking like I'm that guy to fucking do that to. And I just fucking couldn't believe it, man. So in BKFC, if that happened in the UFC or another big organization, you'd be fined and punished for it. And not to mention Lorenzo, he's never made weight for 185. I don't know how. I mean, he beat me. Fucking hats off to him. I can't say anything about it, but fucking just like it's like there's just a lot of things. If I did it, might just be fucked up. I think I'm the Rodney Dangerfield of combat sports. So it's just I kind of put myself in that category. But it's yeah. But those are the two shitheads of my life.
Gotcha. I saw an article. I guess you'd be down to fight Nate Diaz or Nick and bare knuckle. Is that right?
Oh, dude, I'd fight them in my fucking backyard in the snow right now. I fucking because when me and Nick fought, because we fought, and then I was doing an interview with and Jeremy Horn. Jeremy Horn's fucking my guy. He was cornering me for that fight. So, and again, like I was telling you guys before, I've always had people I've trained with. I've been capable of a lot more than I've done. So after the fight, he was like, you fought well, but you're capable of a lot more. So I just said the same thing when they asked me how I thought the fight went. And when you're leaving the octagon, you have a camera kind of following you. And I said that, and then he's like 20 yards over somewhere, because his face swelled up real bad afterwards, like a poisoned dog. I've never seen anything like it. Because he was cut a bunch, I could cut like 5 or 6 cuts on his face, but he just swelled and swelled after like moments after the fights. It was crazy. But so I hear him yell like, "What's up, round 4, motherfucker?" And I'm like, "What?" And fucking, and my hands, both of them are broke. Like 2 metacarpals in each hand were just my fingers were this long. My hands were so swollen.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, whatever, man. And then and Jeremy's like the most coolest, calm guy in the world, So like Jeremy, altercations he's not Jeremy will fucking kill you, but altercation bag. So like Jeremy looks at him, he's like, it's because I went to the hospital, and Rich Franklin went with me, not Jeremy. And so the box commission followed me down there for the drug test. Because when they because I'm still under USADA, they still watch me get drug tested. But when you're in Vegas or with USADA getting drug tested, they watch your fucking wiener go into the cup. They're just eyeballing that shit. It's really uncomfortable. So they were following me to get my drug test. It took a long time, but after they go bring it down to the nurse station. So and I have an IV bag I'm dragging with me, and because I have an IV, and because the only reason I was there is because my hands were broken and I was dehydrated. And he was getting his fucking Frankenstein head put back together, and so I'm walking. I heard him like jabbering down. Well, actually, I was sitting on a gurney when he came in. I wasn't like laying there. I was just chilling. And then he was like, "You can't even get up, you fucking bitch." And I'm like, "Oh God, I can't get away from this." I swear to God, I've never spoken to Nick Diaz prior to that fight. The first time I ever even spoke to him was the day before weigh-ins. He said something about, "Are you gonna make weight this time?" And I was like, "Fucking better hope not, motherfucker." I just couldn't believe. I mean, he was, because I said something, because I'm pretty jovial with people. I don't try to mean mug them. I'm happy. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
But knowing more about them now, they have to make it personal for themselves. And that's their fucking, that's the way they fight. So I wouldn't have spoken to him if not known that. But it was just at weigh-ins, it was just building up, and it just kept building up. So I was walking back, and then he's in a room, and he said something. I said, like, "Go back to the WC." I forget what exactly he said. He said something like, "Don't come down here." Like, fucking what? It's fucking a hospital, motherfucker. And then he's getting like actively stitched up. Like fucking, and like he brushed the fucking brushed the doctor. And then so I didn't think in a million years like he would fucking actually hit me in a hospital, or I would have fucking defended myself. I just turned around, and he I don't know if you, before Reebok took over, Nick used to come out wearing like be in his jeans. I don't know if you guys remember that. So he was just looking. He had like boots on and stuff. I just had my fight shorts and this motherfucker. Sorry, fight shorts and stuff. And so he fucking, I hear him starting to walk, and he fucking just boom, the only tooth I've lost in my life was because of that fucking rat bastard. He fucking cracked my molar, and I just saw it flying in the air as I'm fucking, because he hit me. I dropped me to one knee, and admittedly, I could lie about that, but fucking he did. I swear to God, fucking, Louis Lopez? Like he's a guy I train. He fights in BKFC. Is fucking. I'm getting.
David, you might. Do you know?
I know the name.
He did. Howard Davis.
Think so.
He's a black guy, like bleach blonde hair. Fucking
Was he a boxer?
Yeah,
Howard Davis?
Yeah, I swear to God, I just got these. Anyways, fucking look him up afterward. Louis just sent me 50 fucking messages in a row. He just, I'm about to throw my phone and beat it again. But anyway, so he fucking, he hit me and we were fighting. But I mean, I ended up shitting my pants too. But
Howard Davis.
Yeah, Louis just beat him. But the reason why I hate Nate is because Nate was hitting me when we were fighting. Nate started fucking like punching me in the side of the head. So fucking that's like, what the fuck did I do to you? You fucking piece of shit. And Frank Mir, who's my boy, and Rich Franklin, they were standing right there. And Nate's a little 155 pounder fucking hit me in the side of the head. They were my boys standing right there. They could have, and Tim Sylvia too. Like really? This was back before Tim fucking swallowed himself up and got all fat. But yeah, have you seen Tim lately?
Oh yeah, he's out. Yeah, he's always I see him hunting deer and stuff all the time.
Yeah,
he don't even look the same, does he?
No, dude, he doesn't, man.
I wouldn't recognize him if I just seen him out.
Yeah, he's gotten obese. It's bad. But anyways, I mean, so yeah, I would do anything to fight those fucks because of that, and then I get fined I think I also fined like $40,000 for defending myself. And I don't know how the boxing commission could have fined me, but they did.
Really? Huh. And that was but that happened during, you were at the UFC, right? So that was after the Nick fight.
Yeah, that was Nick fight.
Okay, how did how did the UFC react to that? That was
well, fucking they jumped on it real quick because I remember when I got home, I had a bunch of interviews to do, and they sent like a public relations person with me to each interview to not talk about it like that, but it wasn't even a big deal. But it was I remember getting back because I just won the fight, so it's a good feeling, and getting back to the hotel, it's already everywhere, and everybody's like, if I heard Nick knocked you out of the hospital, I'm like, motherfucker, no, man. Like, yeah, I wouldn't. He knocked me out of one knee, but I mean, it ended with fucking him doing the one thing that I could actually hit him with, like, because my fingers again were this long, I couldn't even make a fist, and so he put his head there. I just fucking kept elbowing him in the head, and that's when his brother, because like there was a siren going off, and I knew the cops coming, and I don't fight. I haven't been in jail probably like 100 times like he has, so I mean I don't. He seemed to be not deterred by the fucking by legal action, but. So I'm like, Nate, get your fucking brother off me. We're gonna get arrested. Then he's like, boom, boom. I'm like, you motherfucker. Because even though we're fighters, we're professional fighters. It just doesn't happen, Yeah. And since then, like at the UFC, like in 2016, like he would always start shit with me, like throw water in my face. I would try to, and the people always see me retaliate, and they're like, oh man, fucking Joe's got to settle down. And I'm like, you don't see what he's doing to me. It's like a kid telling the teacher, but still, if I see him today, I'll fucking strangle him.
Well, I mean, he's done that multiple times. It's like you're not like the only guy reacting like that. I mean, I've seen numerous clips of Nate Diaz doing that to not even fighter. Like he slapped a reporter a few weeks ago because he taught. That was what, a few months ago, September maybe. The Nick Maximov Nick Maximov or whatever it was, his boy, because the reporter said something about him losing in a wrestling match. So I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Nate's a different bird than his brother. I mean, they're both fucking retards, but he's more like more fucking like Nick. I'll give it to him. He's calm, and Nick's fucking looking like a straight gorilla. Like calm down the older he gets. Nate's fucking. He's still fucking. He seems like he's getting more fired up, more abrasive to people. It's and. They both. I mean, they've had wars. They like. I enjoy watching them fight. I really do. They're fun. I don't think their boxing skills are good as they. I mean, they're just fucking down, dirty dogs. They just would love to watch a fight. But I mean, it's now you see the results of the life. You see when they speak, they have CTE. You know, it's fucking horrible to watch. You know, I do. I've always had a speech impediment since I was a kid. I've always mumbled, had a raspy voice. So I chuckle at all those guys. You know, they're getting that shit now, and it's hard. It's hard. You're like, fuck. I hope I don't get like that. Like,
Yeah.
but I stopped sparring hard years and years ago. Like, you know, George St. Pierre gave me the best advice in the world. Yeah, he told me, you know, when you, like, because I used to have just wars with everybody. He's like, if you have, you know, do what if they want to stand up and strike with you, take them down. If they want to take it down, make them stand up and strike it. So it kind of gets rid of that, you know, that constant fucking fray you're into. So it's helped me out a lot. You know, that was actually fucking the best advice I ever got.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you still keep in contact with GSP?
Yeah, social media. Yeah,
That's cool.
he's one of the nicest guys in the world, man.
That's cool. Also, you fought at Rumble on the Rock, is that right? In Hawaii?
Yeah,
a long
yeah.
time ago.
Yeah, I won the middleweight title there. I think I fought there 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
And where did you fought Herb Dean too, didn't you?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Me and David
about
just
it.
saw that.
I did some digging. I saw that. I was like, that's
I fought
hilarious.
Herb when I was like 17. No, I think I was 18. No, I might have been 19. I don't know. It was yeah. I knocked his 2 front teeth out though.
That was like his second fight too, or something, and only like your 10th. I saw that. I was like, that's
Yeah.
hilarious though.
Yeah, it was you know, because I hit him with a straight left and his teeth flew. I don't because he was one of those mouthpieces that would fall out, like they're not fitted to your mouth. And hit him in the lips and bust his teeth out. And then I didn't knock him unconscious or anything. And but I dropped him and I landed in full mount and I started. He was tapping both arms, both legs, man, just boom, boom, boom. And he's a good guy too. But it's just, and he'll never referee any of my. He would never, because Herb's a great referee, and I would want him to ref my fights. He said he would never ref my fights because he would always want me to win because it's normal. People you lose to, you want them to win. So you know he got a good moral compass too.
That's good.
Seems like it.
So who's one guy that you wish you could have fought back when you were in the UFC or not even just the UFC, any MMA organization?
Oh fuck, that's a good question. I always didn't like Jake Shields and wanted to fight Jake Shields. I was gonna fight him in the Strikeforce, and then they pulled me out and I fought Phil Baroni instead. But I fought almost everyone. I mean, Chris Leben, Robbie Lawler. There's a couple guys that in my era that we squeaked by each other. You know, like we you know were like the same level guys in the same era that I've been slated to fight them, never did. You know, there's a couple guys, but like I don't have like any ill feelings about anybody except those 2 I told you about. But just in terms of good fights, those would be good fights.
Yeah. And I also see you said you'd fight Jake Paul for free.
Yeah, dude, he said something. He was in Phoenix when he fought Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
And so when he fought, what's his name? What's that fucking that turd, that wrestle turd he knocked out? Not Tyrone.
Ben Askren.
Yeah, that fucking knob. I don't like. but so when he fought Ben Askren, both fights with Tyron Woodley, I was talking to my manager was talking to his about me being a possible opponent, and I was weeded out, and because he wanted to, and you know Jake Paul can box decently, like, but so in Phoenix they asked, there was a reporter asked about him fighting me, and he goes, I don't know what the fuck that is, and I'm like, what the? I mean, which I would have been upset if the way him and his manager didn't act afterwards. It was obvious because Anderson Silva admitted he got knocked out a couple times in his training camps. So they were going to pull him, and so just less than a week before that fight, they asked if I could be at that weight as a backup if Anderson was taken out, not only that, so when I first started, I would go to train with Rampage in Huntington Beach. I remember he walked in the door. He was a YouTuber, and he would go to gyms and film himself getting the shit beat out of him by MMA guys. So I remember like, yeah, you're on this fucking Disney show my kids used to watch. And then he's like, yeah, I got fired for that. And so he knows exactly who I am. And so but to fucking salt me like that in my hometown, fuck that. That guy is just a fucking knob. Him and his brother, a bunch of fucking knobs. All those guys, like they're I can't stand when people get rich for no good goddamn reason. I hate it.
I can't disagree with that one.
Yeah.
What? So do you? Here's one thing that I think I've always wondered, and a lot of people think all his boxing fights. Do you think they're all rigged?
I don't fucking know, man. That's a good question. I thought the Anderson's fight was for sure not, but then I saw that knockdown. I can't fucking grasp what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's, and then because you watch the way people fall, and people usually brace themselves when they fall. Tyrone did face plant. I mean, I don't think the one with Askren was Askren can't fucking box.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Ben Askren's, he's not even a boxer. You know what I mean?
I just don't know. My thing is
It's
like,
like,
it
what?
seems like a lot of trouble to do that. Like if you're Anderson, but I'm like with you. Like I was like, man, I don't want to be disrespectful and take anything away from just Anderson Silva as a art, like a mixed martial artist. Or but then like same with you. Like I was watching the videos and like I don't know. Like I don't want to say anything publicly, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
but you know what people will do? I mean, fucking, you never know what you'll do. I mean, because my wife was I was like the IRS, fucked me over in taxes in 2005. So my wife has saved half of everything I've ever made since 2005. So unlike a lot of fighters, fucking, I'm wealthy. My annuities, I have my money's in annuities. I mean, I'm not fucking.
it's good to hear, man.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't need to get it. It's. I mean, I've had so many fucking fights. If I wasn't, I'd be sad. Nothing's more, hard to see than I see a fighter that's put in work for a long time and then they have nothing left. Because they think. I mean, if it wasn't for my wife, I'd be right there. But it's because you think that money's coming forever. It's not. I mean, it's just. I mean, even like I've made in the last. I would just in the last like let's just say 10 years, consistently over 300,000, 400,000 a year. And this last year, I just got my taxes and I only made 150,000. Like, good God, I see the decline. Like, it's not because I'm not fighting a lot anymore, so I could only imagine if these paychecks were fucking keeping my family afloat. I'd be out there, selling my ass in the street. Who knows, man? But I mean, seeing fighters fight past the prime and they just keep fighting and losing, it's sad because they're only doing it for one reason, to take care of the family, and I mean, it's no knock against them because honestly, I'd be doing the same thing if it wasn't for my wife, and it's that's why people need good people around them to take care of them.
Dave, you have anything to add to that?
No, yeah, I guess on the thing with not fighting. I mean, do you own a gym? Are you coach or anything?
Yeah,
Outside yeah, gotcha.
yeah. I own 2 gyms down here. No, I mean, I probably make like $3,000 or $4,000 a month out of it. It's not that,
Yeah.
but I live in Montana now. It's fucking Sean O'Malley got me. His fucking ass is the reason I'm here. So because Tim Welch, him and his coach,
Yeah.
like they came down to Phoenix. They lived with me when they were first starting out as a pro. They didn't have money, and so I would come back here. I'd corner Sugar in these fights and Sean. So they introduced me to Great Falls, and then I came out here, and then fucking like I owned a gym in Arizona, and there's more money in Phoenix. I think the average yearly income is probably fucking. I think it's like in the $40,000. It's poverty. It's a lot of Native Americans too, but it's like it's cold and seasonal depression. So I own my gyms here, but it's not like I do it just like there's something to do. Like I think I probably have one fight left in me. Fucking I want to get one more MMA fight in, but I've won through BKFC. I would like to fight Lorenzo, but fucking that's too much work going uphill. I have a lot but I want to do one more MMA, one more bare knuckle, and then be done. And I don't want to because I can still physically train and do very well. If I ever felt any decline in I couldn't do things the way I used to, I would be fucking done. I would never go embarrass myself like that.
I guess off of that because me and him follow. We're now Happy Dad. So we follow Tim and Sean. Obviously now that they're big, but they get. I guess they're around them. There's this thing of them blowing up and it's party and all that. Me and him. The more I watch videos, I can see the work and stuff that Sean puts in.
Yeah.
truly to try to be a champ. But you get to see it, behind closed doors and living in Montana and then living
Yeah.
against stuff. So you got anything kind of to speak on that, on their work
Well,
ethic
well,
and just
well,
their
Sean, Sean lives in, because I'm from Phoenix, and Sean's from here, and he moved to Phoenix to live with me, and I moved to Montana to where he's from, because I brought them down here. But yeah, Tim's as I was on this show called Fight Master for Bellator. I forget what year that was. Do you guys ever seen that?
What
I've
you
heard of
said?
that.
I've heard of it.
Fight
You said
Master?
Fight
Yeah.
Master?
Yeah, it was like Bellator's Ultimate Fighter, but it was
Gotcha.
32. And so
Yeah, I've never watched it. I've heard of it.
yeah, I won that show, and Tim was on that show as well. But me and Tim trained together, so but Tim's very knowledgeable in the sport. His body's not like, his body is like, he's injury prone. And Tim's got a great mind for the sport. He's got a very high fucking IQ. He's got a very good IQ for the sport. And Sean, like, they smoke a lot of weed. They live a complete lifestyle. I do, but they work their ass off. Like, Tim's got gym in Arizona now. He's doing really well. He's got his black belt, and he's doing well with Sean, man. Fucking people want to knock Tim because he didn't have a long background in training fighters, but the proof's in the pudding, man. Look at Sean, look what he's doing, and he just fucking beat Peter Yan. People think he did or didn't. I mean, people thought Peter Yan was gonna just blow him off the map, and fucking Sean fought well. And a lot of that's a testament to Tim.
No,
I think that
looked-
was good. I agree. Yeah, I think that was good to see, just the heart, man. Like, he got in a dogfight. Everybody was counting him out with the whole cranial nerve thing, and he win or lose that fight. I mean, I'm a Sean fan, so I was a little biased. I mean, I thought he won. So, but I'm still watching it back as a
No,
MMA fan.
I think he won. I think people said he. I mean, it was a close fight.
Damage is
Yeah.
a huge criteria, and he was on him. I mean, it's just
Yeah, I mean, and just the sheer fact that everybody. I mean, I didn't know what to think, because I mean, I know Sean's been putting on size. He's gotten stronger than he used to be. He used to be a gangly little bird. He really did. Like, he fucking like bones. I mean, he's skinny now, but he's put like a solid 10 pounds of muscle on. And he's worked tirelessly in jiu-jitsu and his wrestling, and he's just got that unorthodox striking that really fucking, it's hard for people to deal with. He's got long ass arms, but you got to see him. I mean, he works hard, and not just on his craft in MMA. He makes more of his money outside of fighting.
on Twitch. Yeah, I watch him on Twitch sometimes. I mean, he's just entertaining. Like, he's the type of guy, you just put a cell phone in front of his face and he can make you money. Like, and it's just naturally, like, people will just. It's not just the hair, and it's not. I mean, I've watched a couple of his documentaries, like the Anatomy of a Fighter one, and that's where I was really like, this kid's for real. Like, he's not. He's making money with the happy dad and the party and stuff, but this kid's locking in every day, working, doing what he needs to do, and he's pacing the other stuff. That's what I see, at least.
Generational wealth. He's creating a lot of money. I mean, because I think everybody gets a little surly, because when the old guy's been putting in work for years and fucking. Don't have any money, and then because I mean, it's not just talent, it's not just the right time. It's the right people. It's like 3-4 things have to hit at the right time, And for Sean, he chose to go on Dana White's Contender Series instead of making his debut, because he performs well in that spotlight, man. Like, he does. Like, he just. Like Benson Henderson, like he's the best friend in the world. Benson's just fucking a guy that just does really well in the spotlight, like Sean does. So there's like, sometimes I shrivel in the spotlight. It's some people, it's a gift for some people, and Sean's done well with it. I'm real proud of him.
Yeah, it's crazy to say, like you said, just coming from Montana and being able to shine that spotlight and just kind of being able to because a lot of it you can tell is natural. I mean, he's a natural star, and then now obviously he knows that. Putting those two combos together, it's dangerous, and I wish the best for him.
Same thing with Conor. I mean, I hear his age now. I mean, he's still young. He's still 27, I think. But I mean, because when I think of myself, like I'm in my 20s. Like, I forget how I'm an old bird. I mean, I made my UFC debut in 2004. I mean, fucking, I started fighting, like, I turned pro at 16 in 1999. You know, but I have that, like, I don't think, cause I remember, cause Sean lived with me for a few years and he was, I think he was 21 when we moved in, you know, and just time flies, man. I mean, fucking, it really does. And you look at the evolution of what he's done, it's crazy. I mean, you see that, I mean, when you're in the sport and you can see that transition with fighters, you know, it just, and what's good is like, what's big to me is how people treat other people when they're not around. I think being humble and kind is one of the best, the most special things people can do. You know, Randy Couture really, you know, taught me that when I was younger. Like, I was 17, Randy was always my hero, and I got to train with him, and he had no, I was a professional fighter, but I was just a fat little turd, 17-year-old kid, and I got to go in the bathroom to, you know, get a hold of myself because I mean, he was my idol, and he treated me like I was anybody else. And I'm like, man, if my presence actually means something to somebody one day, that's what I'm going to do. So
Yeah.
and Sean's the same way. You know, you can't be nice to everybody, give everybody what they want, but you try to treat people with kindness, and that's fucking, because you see people on the other hand that do the exact opposite. It's fucking, it's just blows me away to see that. And people are mean and fucking, you know, vindictive and just cruel.
Yeah.
Like, I think Conor McGregor do some fucking shit that will drop your jaw. Like, people flew like a whole family, and in specific, an older lady from Ireland. They had a flag, and I think he had just beaten he was getting ready to fight Dennis Siver. He wasn't even as big as he got, and like, because fighters are different. Like there's no, if you guys think about this, like, you see how Ireland, the whole country was behind Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, our country doesn't do that with fighters.
Right.
We pick and choose. Like, they're when a fighter comes out of a country and does well, their whole country gets behind him. So, anyways, this family came down, and this old lady asked for a picture. I mean, she wanted to sign their flag, and he goes, "What do you fucking think I'm out here doing this? I'm not here." He just pretty much just fucking really embarrassed this lady, and just was, I could not fucking believe it. I was like, I wanted to like have something snappy to say, but I was mumbling over my words. I just fucking, there's very few times in life where you know, you're at a loss for words, and that's it.
Did he really say that to her? He really said,
Yeah. So, and not just to himself and his guys,
yeah,
to her, and so her family could hear that. They probably, between the whole family, they probably had spent $50,000. Probably, you know, I don't know the financial situation, but, you know, to come out just to see him,
yeah,
and to be treated like that by your own countrymen, the way they look at themselves, and the way they look at their own people from their country. I mean, she started immediately crying, you know, and it's fucking, I'm like, and then like Benson goes by up to her. She had no idea who the fuck any fighter was but him.
yeah.
So, and he's a piece of shit, man. Fucking, that's like he's every time I've talked to him and I said he's, you know, he's nice to me, cordial with me.
Yeah.
But, you know, if he's just, he does not treat everyone, you know, the same. And that says a lot about someone's character, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, you hear all the stories about him and all the incidents he's been in and everything like that. So,
We're smoked as fuck. Like, dude,
yeah,
fucking he punched an old man in the bar.
yeah,
I
dude,
saw that video.
Like, who, he gets to, I mean, you get to a point where he's losing your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, the shit he was doing, I was there. I wasn't in the bus, but I watched the whole thing happen when he was throwing the dolly and shit. It was crazy. Fucking, and the UFC fucking stoked the flames of that because they didn't put him in his place.
Yeah.
That would have been anybody else, they would have fucking, they did the same thing in John Jones. I mean, obviously, you know, companies treat people differently, but dude, that's fucking nuts. Like, he flew all the way down from Ireland just because fucking Khabib fucking like push fucking his little fucking friend, whatever his name was.
Artem Lobov.
Artem,
Yeah, now they hate
the
each
guy
other.
he's suing now. Yeah.
Yeah, now they.
Yeah, they probably spent fucking 30 grand come flying over here in a jet, all coked up, and
Yeah.
fucking starts bashing the thing with the dolly. Like, Yeah, I mean, he literally thought he's above the law. Like fucking, like he's able to do
Well,
that.
he hurt people. Like that's the line. Like he hurt guys preparing and
Yeah,
women preparing for
I
their
mean,
sport.
he could have gotten. I actually did. He got glass in somebody's eye. Mike
Uh,
Chiesa.
Michael
Yeah,
Chiesa.
Mike Chiesa. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got him
I mean,
bad.
Mike Chiesa milked that. I get it was like a little cut over here. I mean, but I would have fucking too. I mean,
Oh
it's.
yeah,
Right.
I mean,
definitely.
fucking.
I mean, it
He.
shouldn't have happened regardless.
No,
especially
fuck that.
especially if it's fight week and you're pairing and stuff
Especially
like that with your.
you can't really blame Mike too much because you're trying to get in the zone and then something like that happens and it completely takes you out of your element. So close to the fight, it was after wins, and that's. I mean, Khabib was in the fuck but Khabib, he's a stone cold killer, man. Nothing bothers that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he
feel the
fuck,
same way with Islam too. That just whole
yeah,
group over there, they're just composed, man.
dude. Because I was fighting in Russia for like in 2017 and 18 and right before COVID, I was fighting in a show called M1 Global, and I fought in Dagestan like 3 times. Fucking just a eerie place to be. Fuck, I'll tell you what, man. Like fucking Chechnya and like you go down there and you fight some of those guys that are fucking really good and you win. So I went
Yeah.
down there and I won 4 in a row and then I got a title shot and that was one fight I hurt my knee. But you get no respect. Like fucking beat a guy that's like 20-1. And and then nobody fucking knows. But like because the UFC bought M1 Global and then everybody was ranked in the top 3 signed with him because I was ranked, but I still have a contingency contract with the UFC, one more fight. So all I did is just take money from me because I was tax-free money I was smuggling back into the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, being over there, like you can't wear a tank top in that part of the country because they call them Sunni Muslims. I hope that's not a disrespectful word, but it's a second generational people from like Syria and stuff like that. So like their culture, you can't wear a tank top, you can't wear shorts. And I was coming across the street filming a commercial. I had no shirt on, and this motherfucker just tried to hit me in a car. I was like, holy shit! And then every night at the same time, there was this car doing burnouts. I thought it was because like the hotel was like almost like a cul-de-sac where the
Yeah.
hotel was. I just thought, oh, this is something they do here, fucking. And it was all because I was there because I had a liaison and kind of protection wherever I went. And every time before a fight, I'm very, I'm, I wouldn't say no. Well, I do stick to my rituals, but fucking, I go out for like walks the night before the fight, and I was going out for my walk, and it was like 10 or 11, and then they acted like they just like jump and scramble to the door for me not to go out. I'm like, why? They said you won't come back. I'm like, oh fuck, okay, I won't go. Yeah, so I get because I guess they would kidnap you and not all the people are like that, but there's some there's some bad people everywhere you go. So it was a crazy fucking experience on that. Yeah, those guys are just they're just you can see those guys. They say like 1,000-yard stare. They all fucking got that.
Do the
There's a reason why. You guys remember Joe Silva, the old matchmaker of the UFC?
yeah.
Joe Silva, I asked him, I'm like, why don't more Russians why don't you guys sign? Because I would see all these guys from Russia with like a 25-2 record. I'm like, why don't you guys sign these guys? And he said, if we signed everybody from Russia that deserved it in every weight class, there might be one guy that wasn't from Russia. The top 10 would be all Russians, but one guy. Now they still aren't letting all the guys in that deserve it.
I believe it.
They just the guys from M1 Global got in there, and now they're just squashing everybody.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, they're cut from different cloth, man.
I believe it.
We actually had Jeff Monson on here not that long ago, and he lives in Moscow, Russia. If you're familiar with Jeff, but
Also, yeah, fuck, I love Munson. Fucking the name. Have you ever seen the movie Kingpin?
Yeah.
Good. So fucking the name Munson kills me, but yeah, he's a great guy, man. Fucking I saw something, he got like his passport of citizenship from Russia.
Yeah,
Is that what he got?
he's one.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever talk
Oh
to.
yeah, fucking, he's really really nice. I remember after, I think it was I fought Chris Lytle. He fought somebody that night, and he was going around getting a bunch of things signed from the fighters to give to a cancer hospital or something like that. He's always doing charity stuff like that. He's always been a nice guy.
Yeah, for
Have you heard
sure.
what he's doing these days? He's doing
No.
that phone booth fighting, like where you're in the phone booth and you do the rounds.
You'll have to watch.
Because
Watch some of our-
he tried the bare knuckle, like I guess the Russian version of bare knuckle. And he's like, man, those punches for my age they just sting, and like I don't have the same touch. So he was like, but he's like, I feel a lot better in the phone booth. So he's like 1-1 in that. He's pursuing that right now.
Well, Jeff said he's never been. He was never. His striking was never good. He's always a good wrestler and good, really good jiu-jitsu. Like that's crazy. He would fucking do that. Like that.
Well, he said he could close the gap, I guess was his thing. He was saying like, because I was thinking that too. I've seen like 155ers people, but he's like, I can close the gap and hold them.
But you can actually, you're in the over under clinch or just like a collar tie. Like how do they have these guys locked up?
See, and I think that's different because like he was like, I guess it's kind of an upstart in Russia because he's like, I guess he did it through like UK and that's where it originated, and then like Russian promotions trying it, and he like fought the Russian champ to a decision, and then so I'm not sure because all he really said was like, because I asked the same thing. I was seeing all these 135ers and 155ers just getting in there and going to town for them because it was like 3 1-minute rounds. But for him, he was like, oh, I just kind of hold him up and just kind of do my thing. And he's like, I don't take near the brute doing it. And,
How old is he?
How old is Jeff?
He's like 40.
He's late 40s, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's like 40, 50. He might even be 50. He might be like,
God damn, 50?
I honestly want to think he's like 50, 52. But yeah,
he's still in good shape too, eh?
Oh, he's in incredible shape. Yeah. Well, especially 52, but yeah, I mean, he's still muscle milk. You know, he's big.
Yeah, he's always been jacked like that. But it's like these crazy fucking I don't know organizations, but they're kind of a spinoff of combat sports. But that slap thing that Dana did, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing. But I'll be honest, I'm fucking hooked in watching these motherfuckers. I fucking love it. I mean, they just, because if you break it down, the most basic thing, they're just slapping the fuck out of each other.
Would you do it? Or
fuck, dude, I would if anybody
versus Nick.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
That's what. Hey, we need to call Dana and get you and Nick on power slap.
Slap them both.
I would pay money to do it. Yeah, but I mean, if any accomplished martial artists like had any success anywhere, did something like that, because a lot of those guys are MMA fighters that that never really did anything, But there's a couple guys that just slap for a living. It's so like when they're going into the UFC training center to train, that part's pretty fucking funny to me. Like
they just called the one dude the slap daddy or whatever. He was coked out or something in his last match. He was like, I looked up his like whole profile. He's like 10-11 as an MMA fighter, and then he like just dedicated his whole. He was like, okay, like I need to change. So I guess he got into power slap, and he was pretty. I mean, he was slapping the crap out of people, man. But like, it was like, well, he had.
Which guy is that? Slap daddy? Fucking. Is he the guy with the beard?
Yeah, he kind of looks like Paul Craig, I guess, but it's like a browner.
Yeah. That he had over like 100 or 200 MMA fights, something like that. And okay, yeah, that guy. There's a. I mean, I think it's your fucking palm, but any like I saw one of the guys. They kind of talked about the MMA fighters like they're like, oh, he's an MMA fighter. He's gonna pivot on that back foot, like fucking like shitting on his technique. Like, but both of the coaches, they've never fought in a day in their life. Am I right about that?
No, they're just power slap guys. That's all they do.
One Hispanic guy, he's just a fat sack of shit. I mean,
I think it's Mitchell Cipe. I think that's how you say his name. But he was on the last Tough. I watched when he was slapping the fire out of these power slap people. No, this guy was on the last season of Ultimate Fighter with Team Pena and Nunez. And he lost to Muhammad Usman, Kamaru's brother, on the show.
Yeah.
But he's in power slap now because like it didn't really, obviously he lost a little fighter, never got a UFC contract. Oh, he's slapping the fire out of these, like look at Mitchell. Look at Mitchell Cipe. Look at like literally he's laughing. He's like, man, my MMA.
Where are you from?
North Carolina. So
I love it. He's slapping the fire out of it. Oh, you guys, I want to use that shit. Oh,
yeah, go ahead, man.
But that's so like it's kind of it's ironic that it came out right after Dana fucking slapped his wife. It's kind of fucked up,
Right.
you know. Fucking
Yeah, the
and
timing of that.
that dude, any like in any kind of like acting, fucking sports. If you want to fucking kill your career, you fucking like domestic violence is pretty much the worst thing you can do. Dana's fucking Teflon, dude. Fucking
Oh yeah.
he
Yeah, man.
you watch that video, he slapped his wife not once but twice.
Oh yeah.
Like,
And
it's
imagine like in the presser, man, he was like in the presser, he was basically like, what am I gonna do? Suspend myself? I was like, anybody else says that, man. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, because like there wasn't much of a. I mean, because Dana he toned his shit down for like 2 weeks because he's usually brutal with people, but like they're like there should be some sort of punishment. He goes, yeah, like what am I gonna do? I'll spend myself for fucking a couple weeks and then fucking. I mean, he's got a fucking point, but I
Yeah.
mean, I think it's. I mean, Dana's Dana's. I mean, he is the sport. You know, I think when Dana goes, I think the UFC will suffer greatly for it.
How was
You
it
know?
dealing with Dana White? Is he pretty reasonable to deal with?
Oh, dude, it's because I came in. I mean, so many different years have gone by. So there's been good times. There's been bad times. You know, like fucking. I remember when I fought Matt Hughes. Like I was number one contender. I was going to get the title shot after him at GSP,
Yeah.
and I forget who, but anyways, so he calls me and tells me because I had just fought. I was like 20 pounds, maybe 30 pounds overweight, and it was the fight was like 10 days away.
Yeah.
And he's fucking, you're fighting no matter if you're fighting, you're cut. I'm like, what the fuck? Like really? This and then so but then I was fighting for the WC. This is after the UFC bought it, and I was a champion. And I get on the scale and I flex and I piss all of myself because my disc herniated and I lost control of my bowels. So I kind of dragged myself to the hotel room. I let the UFC know. Dana comes up with the doc and then the attorney, and then the doc checks my foot out and he goes, he has foot drop, which means you can't have any, you don't have flexion in your foot. So like it's if you're walking, you pretty much drag your foot. And then so he goes he can't fight. He's liable to cripple himself. And then Dana's like, well, I didn't ask what the fuck what your opinion was. I'm like, yeah, and I have like my dad, my wife, people in my life that I love. And then Dana's like, have you ever seen Varsity Blues?
yes,
I haven't. No.
the needle in it. I've seen it.
Yeah, Bud Kilmer tells that fat fuck. Let me ask you a question. You ready to go? Yeah, so I felt like I was there. He's like,
He's like shaking.
yeah. Because this moment was like Joe, are you? You gotta understand. Like my foot. So if I fought, I'd just stand there. I couldn't walk out and meet him. I would just stand there and have my hands up, and then I could tell it was one of those things like, you're gone again. I'm like, fucking why, God? So then I'm like, the doctor's like, he has. I didn't ask you a fucking question. And then, matter of fact, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, speak up, you motherfuckers. Nobody said shit. And then fucking, and then I go, yeah, I'm ready. And he's like, that's my soldier. I just like Bud Kilmer. And fucking, and then he's like snaps fingers. Another contract comes up. I'm like, oh no. And I see he goes, I'm knowingly, willingly fighting with this injury. It's not nobody's forced me to do it. I'm like, you just fucking threatened me. And then so I sign it, and I'm about. And then he fucking after I sign it, he takes it. He's like, all right, put him on the plane back to Phoenix, pay for surgery, give him a show, win money, and give him a $20,000 bonus. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Fucking so I was gonna do it. So I mean, but I mean that story started out like shit, but it ended cool. You know, I think he wanted to see the. I don't know what the fuck the point of that was for. I mean, it was just to watch me writhe in pain. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I mean, it ended up being cool. I mean, fucking Dana's. There's been cool things. There's been some of the best thing is watching him just verbally abuse people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's been kind with my. I mean, big reason that I lived that life I do is because of him. So you got to give it up to him.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's when like all these people, like Jake Paul, I guess is one of the main ones. But like when all these people are talking about the UFC and the fighter pay and all that, it's like, and Sean contested this. He was like, "But man, look at the platform he's gave us. Like, yeah, we're we're slaving away and we're doing these things in the octagon, but like it also sets us up. We just had Sam Alvey on too, had like 24 fights and since 2014, and he was the same way. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
Sam,
he was like,
Sam was saying he said Dana's been pretty, fair with everything. I mean, he
Well,
gives you plenty of
well,
opportunities.
they compared to boxing, but my friend Billy Wagner, he fought in BKFC. He's fought on 2 Canelo Alvarez undercards. He's paid $1,500. Okay, so they're taking the very fucking small percentage of boxing and they're putting
the
it
top
that.
dogs, and they're
Yeah.
comparing them to all of the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, the league minimum for the UFC, I think it's 16 and 16. I mean, it's like, but the pay gap is fucking great. Like, there's the guys that get paid the lowest, and then there's the 6 figure. Like, I was in the middle, and then there's guys that get paid, get paid 3 points. But again, you can't fucking complain. Fucking it's, it's you don't get I mean, it's when I was young, I never. I mean, everybody always said this is gonna be the biggest sport in the world. I'm like, fucking shut the fuck up. Like, I was fighting for fucking the bare minimum you can fight for a commission, which is $35 for a pro fight. I mean, honestly, and so I was not fighting for. I mean, I knew I wanted to fight for the UFC one day, but never thought it was going to be for a living. I actually thought I was going to be a professional boxer. That's why I did both simultaneously at the same time. And then whichever one made me more money, which is another testament to MMA. I made more money in MMA, so that's the way I went. But yeah, you will 1,000% get some sort of cognitive brain damage being a professional boxer.
Yeah,
that is a guarantee. If you fight you have an extended career, and I've had a long goddamn career, I'd be fucked. So it's Dana. People can shit on Dana, but what he's done with the sport, it's unprecedented. He's turned it into fucking like the shitbirds has had it before him. Like I was hearing I forget the guy's name. Art Davies, the guy that Dana bought it from. He was bitching and moaning, calling Dana a crook. He was going bankrupt, motherfucker. Like he bought something that nobody else wanted.
Yeah,
he's a little strange too. I was watching his idea on the UFC. I'm not saying he's not a genius for like starting it all and all that, but he was a strange bird watching him talk to the cameras.
Yeah, because he has this sense of entitlement. Even all that Dana's built, he takes credit for it. I swear to God.
really.
He thinks in some weird way, because he started the UFC, that it's his baby. He actually used those words to me. I'm like, you fucking delusional, man. You fucking like you were around when you guys were talking about like putting a fucking island of sharks.
Right, not even a sport really. Like
no, yeah, it was just about fucking. It wasn't a sport.
It was like X Factor.
Yeah, and the evolution of the fighters, like you get the fucking most rundown gimp in the UFC, like the worst fighter in the UFC. I don't know, like fucking the worst fighter might be that Michael. What's that guy who fought fucking CM Punk? What's that fucking?
I just watched that the other day. He got like because he went 2 rounds with him, so they were telling him he was.
Yeah, his name's like Michael Jackson. Not Mike. I don't know what the fuck his name. He's like he says the most racist comments too.
Yeah,
like fucking. He called me fucking.
I think it was I think his name is Mike Jackson.
Is it really? Yeah.
I think it is Mike Jackson. I think you're right.
And he still has UFC contract, which is nuts. But fucking besides him, you put anybody in the first 3 UFCs, they would fucking, if they're at least 180 pounds, they'd win the whole thing. They would have, the evolution of the sport has just gone nuts. So I mean, that guy Art Davies, he needs to fucking drink a nice tall glass and shut the fuck up. He's lucky that his name's attached to it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, like I just looked up his I looked up his name, and on Instagram his handle is UFC creator. Like that's his handle.
Art Davies said that?
That's his handle on Instagram is UFC creator.
The only reason I even have because Sean Wheelock, he does the BKFC commentary.
Yeah.
He's a close friend of mine, and I hope he's not getting mad at me because he's friends with Art Davies. He's the kindest guy in the world. He actually, M1 Global, their reasoning for not liking him was he was too nice. Swear to fucking God, that's really? Fucking like, yeah, he's the most kindest person in the world. But yeah, he Art Davies must have something to offer because Sean's still his boy. So maybe fucking he's. I mean, I'd probably be sore too. Watching that came through, but it didn't. You got to break it down like this: if the UFC stayed in his hands, nothing would have came of it. I would be doing something completely different in my life. Conor McGregor never happened. Fucking every fighter that's ever done anything.
Well, it would have probably been like a heavily produced too. It would have probably been like a WWE type. He would have probably turned it into an entrepreneurial business like
fucking
that.
John McCain, the senator from my state, fucking just ruined it. You know, he fucking
Right.
and,
Yeah,
he
John
fucking-
McCain was a POS, man.
Oh, dude, in Arizona they covered this fucking piece of shit, and he fucking because he talk. I don't know if you guys are because I'm obsessed with politics, but fucking probably shouldn't talk
Same.
about that.
Same.
Yeah, I want to pull my fucking hair out, but John McCain, he fucking talks about he's a war hero. I mean, he was a prisoner of war, but fucking he was just by chance. I mean, he didn't do anything fucking. And Donald Trump was fucking persecuted for saying that. Like fucking.
But Trump was right. Trump was right though. That was the thing.
Yeah, right about it. Trump's a prophet.
Hey,
of our time.
another thing you even know this. I'm sure you do. Without Trump, Trump helped with the UFC too. Remember
Fuck yeah.
they had trouble getting events and they had to go fight at the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, Trump let them use the Trump Taj Mahal and the other venues gave the because when Dana got the UFC, when he was every time he'd go back to the Fertitas for money, they'd be like fucking about to slap him, you know, and so Trump did a lot, like gave him a bunch of rooms for nothing and didn't charge him shit. Yeah, Trump, it wasn't for Trump, man. Yeah, a lot of shit. Trump's fucking like even I met Trump a couple times. Like he's another fucking nice fucking guy. You know, I mean, he didn't know who he was like. There was a show Affliction that he helped out a lot, and he's fucking cool as fuck, man. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life. How like that guy he was beloved by everybody, and then he threw his hat in the ring for presidency, and they fucking bit his dick off, man. Like, can't believe he actually wants to run for president again.
I know it's a lot. I mean, it's got to be a lot on him, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, and he's 78 and he's still fucking sharp as a tack. And, I mean, they're cruel to him. And then like in Arizona, this is because the election, like right when I was moving, it was there. Like it was in the middle of COVID, so there was it was a train, but I call it a Trump train, but it was 99 miles long of cars that were driving from Tucson through Phoenix down there. And then you go to a Biden rally and you see fucking two asthmatics and a fucking old gimp, you know, and it blows me away. I mean, how just the election. I mean, because I don't know if you pay attention to the governor's race in Arizona. This woman,
Carrie Lake, in there.
Yeah. I remember growing up, she was like the newscaster, but dude, they fucking straight robbed this woman. They fucking my brother and all of his friends, they went to 3 different voting stations and they were turned away because the machines were down. That happened to over 4 or 5 million people in America. No, 400,000 or 500,000 people in Maricopa County alone. And then all the other counties, the one guy that was supposed to send in the final thing to get him the governor's mansion wouldn't do it, and they threatened to put him in prison. Fucking, she's still fighting, but I don't know. I mean, it's just this fucking in Russia. They told me so. In Russia, I was in Russia. They had this mall fire going on. It was done by the government. I'm like, holy shit, man, your government's so fucked up. And they're like, yeah, ours is, but fucking ours at least tells us about it.
Yeah, yeah. America won't say anything. They'll just do it.
Oh fuck yeah! It's not a good time to be an American right now, man. It really is not.
No,
it's fucking with that fucking decrepit gimp at the fucking in the office. It's fucking terrible. It's yeah, but I'm probably gonna get a bunch of fucking hate mail for saying that. Yeah.
Nah, it'd be all right. It'd be all right.
A lot worse shit than that.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I think we're about to wrap this up. Is that good with you?
Get me up. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You'll have to check out some of our old podcasts. We had like I said, we had Monson on, Jeremy Horn, Mark Munoz.
Yeah, you guys had Jeremy on?
Yep. So you have to go check that out. And we also Sam Alvey, if you know him. But
yeah. Fucking smiling Sam. Yeah, Sam's good. He's also a good guy.
Yep.
How can I help you guys promote it?
What we usually do is if it's cool with you, we'll clip what sounds like it's gonna pop out, and we'll post it. We'll post a bunch of clips prior to posting the video, and we'll try to collaborate with you on Instagram if that's cool with you.
For sure, yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. And then if you guys need any, did you guys say you know Sean personally?
No, We do not.
No, do you?
Oh.
You want to see if I don't know if you would care,
Yeah.
but see if
No,
Sean
yeah,
would
yeah.
want to come on for about like I'm cool with like 15 minutes if he can make that
Yeah,
work.
dude, he'll get high and fucking talk for hours, man.
Hey, that
Yeah.
works for me, man.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll shoot Tim your guys' number, and then
Yeah,
I
Tim
mean,
too, man. We'd love to talk to Tim too. He's
yeah, I'll do. I mean, I'll shoot Sean your guys' number, and then and Tim will probably do it before Sean. But Sean, I mean, Sean won't. Sean's fucking. He's cool as fuck. He'll for sure do it.
Tell
Yeah,
him, tell him we're happy. We love Happy Dad. Maybe that'll work.
Dude, I don't, dude. Fucking, I don't even know what Happy Dad is. I'm sad to say. What is it?
Yeah, it's a seltzer. It's a seltzer drink, and it's
You know who the Nelk Boys are?
No.
They're like modern age jackass. They're these YouTubers, pranksters. You probably wouldn't like. Those are probably the type of people you'd want to slap up, honestly. But but they got a they started this thing, I guess, like mid-pandemic. Well, like it was before the pandemic. These two Canadian guys kind of built the brand, and then they brought it over to YouTube and they brought it over to America. And the pandemic, it kind of popped, and then through that, they got in with. I mean, they got a podcast now, and they got like Elon Musk on it, Michael Rubin, like all these guests. But through all this, like they got the Sahidi brothers, I think it is, helped them launch a hard seltzer. So they launched this hard seltzer, and they're real tight with Dana.
Is it an alcoholic drink or no?
It's a seltzer, yeah. So it's like it's supposed to be like a White Claw, but it's the slogan is like for dudes to drink it. It's like no more skinny can.
So you look, I guess, to look cool.
So you look good doing it.
You look cool. You don't look like a chick drink it. Yeah.
The motto is no more skinny can bullshit is what their like big thing is, and they want to look like you're drinking a Modelo or something, but it's a seltzer. But anyway, they kind of partied and did different content. Like Steve, which is a big guy in the company, he's like more on the gambling side of things. But him and Sean, I guess, and Tim kind of became boys, and through that they just did videos and content and stuff. So he got a deal with them that I'm assuming is pretty fat. So I don't know if Sean actually drinks it.
They endorse Sean?
Yeah, they endorse and sponsor him, and I mean I've always watched UFC, but that's kind of I guess how I came into watching Sean personally.
Was it him and Ty Tuivasa? Isn't Ty one or?
Yeah, Ty, the guy that does the shoeys, he did a Happy Dad shoey. Like that was actually a Happy Dad that he got over in Shotgun. If you've seen that guy that drinks out the shoe.
That guy from Australia.
Yeah,
that guy's fun to watch. Yeah, dude, so they make a lot of money, huh? Those guys.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's not proper 12 or anything like that, but it's definitely an up and coming, especially for a seltzer. I mean, they'll probably. I think that's his goal too. Kyle Forgeard's he's already on 30 under 30 on the Forbes 100 or whatever it is. But I think that's his goal is blow it up for 5 or 6 years and sell it essentially. So.
They have a podcast. They have a podcast too, and they'll
Full
bring
Sim podcast. They had Trump on there. You would love it. They've had,
Trump was on
the Full Sim podcast, and you'll get in a hole.
Kamar Usman, Colby Covington went on there. A bunch of fighters go on there, and they talk all the time.
You guys, have you guys spoke to Colby Covington at all?
No, man. I wish.
Dude, he's like him and last thing, him and fucking Chael Sonnen. It's the exact same thing. They're both great fighters, but they didn't really have a shtick or a fucking anything. And so, like, because I remember Jeremy fucking just spanked Chael. Jeremy, I was his corner, got him that double armbar, and Chael was like, "Why, God, why?" Like, he thought someone put a hex on him. He was acting crazy on it. Because Jeremy, fucking. But just styles make fights, man. That's the way it is.
Chael went to go see somebody for that. Did you know that?
Did he really?
Yeah, he went to go see like a.
That's like the thing around is that like he needed to get out of the spell or whatever because he lost to Jeremy 3 times.
Yeah, he had to go talk to somebody about it.
Way too. I mean, well, he got him in double arm. That's I didn't know that. Chael's a very smart guy.
He is.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys saw. There was this guy came to my gym wanted to fucking bare knuckle box me a while ago. Like it was like last year.
I was gonna ask you, but was that just a regular like civilian or was that an actual guy at fault?
No, he was like some fucking lunatic. Like he had came in my gym like for a year straight. There's been a lot of people came in the gym. I would end up beating on him and stuff because they would do something out of line. This guy would come in. He wouldn't be very out of line. He would just keep wanting to do that. And I'm like, you don't spar bare knuckles, not like that, man. Then I'm like, you want to sign up? And then he would do something. But that particular day, he comes in, he goes, "Hey, let's get this shit done. I got stuff to do." And my wife's like, "Well, you need to sign up. You want to do anything?" And he told my wife to shut the fuck up or something like that. So then I'm like, so he's like, I didn't just fucking put him out there, but
Yeah.
But then he said he had like 200 amateur fights and so but just boxing fights. And then I saw him take one step and I knew he couldn't box. So I didn't hit him. I probably cracked him hard once, but everybody's giving me shit. But Chael he did like a thing on it and talked about it and broke it down beautifully. Fucking exact everything that I was saying, he fucking put it into words and didn't make me look like a dickhead. So yeah, but him and Colby Covington, they're both good fighters. They're going to get cut from the UFC just because they didn't have a gimmick that people weren't gravitating towards them. Because I think Covington's record was 3-1 or 4-1. I think Chael was something similar, but no, Chael actually got cut. And then
Chael, did he go WEC? He went to the WEC, didn't he?
Yeah, he got cut. He went to fucking Rome the Rock, did the whole fucking roundabout and came back in. And then the last fight that was the WC ever had before the UFC already bought it, but before they just merged, he fought Paul Filio, and then he didn't make weight right before Chael's dad died, and he wanted to be a world champion before his dad died, and the guy didn't make weight, and it wasn't a title fight, and he robbed because Chael beat the shit out of me, robbed him of winning the belt. But anyways, yeah, but because Colby's not like that at all. He's in real life, he's not like that.
That's what everybody says.
I mean, I guess what, like, you're right. Like the Damian Maia, the Brazil thing, kind of, he said that and he kept his career alive, and he's been that ever since. I mean, fun to watch.
Like, Chael is the same. Like I'd be sitting next to Chael talking about something, and he has a demeanor more like Jeremy Horns. And then the camera come on, he would be like Muhammad Ali, like just fucking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and then turn it back off. Like he's fucking just special dude. Like he's a smart fucking guy. He knew what he had to do to keep it going, and he's still doing it to this day, man. Both guys, if you can get either of those guys on, they're good interview, man.
Yeah, do you know?
Chael was ripping people apart in interviews, man.
Do you talk to Chael or Colby a bunch?
Yeah. I talked to Chael on I just since when he did that thing over a fight, because I've known him for years, but just like, hey, what's up? Never. But then after that, we talk on the phone now. But Colby through social media.
Gotcha.
But fuck, GSP's not being, dude. You'd be surprised how many people would do interviews, man. Fucking, especially if you're just a good fucking guy, nice guy. Because I don't know which one of you guys reached out, but you guys were nice guys. Fucking yeah. Like some people are just fucking dicks,
Oh, really?
And yeah,
I'm sure. I'm sure they are. Yeah.
I mean, we just want to hear. I mean, we've just watched a sport, like we don't compete or anything, but it's like, man, from watching it and I guess like looking at everything, it's just like, man, we just want to know more about the sport and know the people in it and kind of because a lot of people don't humanize fighters, man. That's all we're really trying to do. So.
Yeah, and we love talking to the veterans too. All the old guys are the old school fighters who we want.
You're right. I mean, it's because it's my era in specific. It got right when we were getting in the UFC. The UFC exploded. Like the special time in the UFC was like 2000, I would say 2007 to 2013. I mean, because that's when before Reebok got into it and stuff like that. But it's like they don't, like, they promoted myself, Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler. They don't do that anymore. They don't really promote guys. It's like a mass production thing. So, but it's still fucking great sport though, man. It's so great.
It is, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'll send you guys a lot of contacts. If you guys want to. I'll reach out to them and speak to them, and then I'll give you their information, and you can call them, and you'll be calling them. So yeah, you'll be surprised. A lot of people they like you guys seem like cool guys. That'd be cool to see you guys' stuff actually go somewhere.
Yeah, that's we hope, man. That's gonna be the plan. So that's what we're shooting for.
You guys that guy Phil Baroni that killed his wife or girlfriend in Mexico?
You brought that up. I was gonna bring that. I forgot about that. That was a crazy story. I've seen that. Something about threw her in the shower or something.
Yeah. She said like he's getting fucking gang raped in prison. I mean, because he killed the Mexican national in prison, the worst prison in Mexico. Like Phil, like when I fought Phil, he just came back from Pride. He just had won the Pride title. So he had like a cast iron chin. He was like, when I beat him, it was actually good. I beat him for the Strikeforce title. And I mean, he's a guy that fought way too long and he's if people would say, who do you think would do something like this? I would have said Phil. Because I've seen him, be physical with women. People had to break it up before. So you reap what you sow, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I'll send you guys those links for other people, and you guys. I hope you guys have the best of luck, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure meeting you. I'm gonna follow you on socials and stuff and keep up with you and hopefully have you back on and just shoot the shit some more.
Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome. You could join us when we talk to other fighters, whatever. Doesn't matter, man. You're always welcome.
I'll be hitting you guys up. I appreciate it, guys.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.